The live stream, the second one today. So we're gonna get it going. We got some new fragrances to talk about that I just got in, as pretty much after I got done my live earlier. So we did a live stream. What was it, like 2 o'clock today? Mostly for the European and people that were across the country, across the world, I should say. I'm so used to saying country, but anyway. Um, I got as soon as I got done that live stream around 3 o'clock, I went to get my daughter off the bus, and I had a package from D Holmes again. He sent me a few fragrances that we were talking about that I'm going to be reviewing today and doing my first impressions on. A lot of these are discontinued, but we have YSL Splendid Wood. We have M7 Oud Absolu. We have Van Cleef and Arpels, Midnight in Paris. We have something else that I don't know what that is. And then we have YSL's, what is it? Something, Noble Leather. And then Penhaligon's Halfeti Leather. Those are the ones that we're going to be talking about today. I think Penhaligon's is in here, but it doesn't look like it. I don't think it is. I don't know where that went, but it's somewhere here. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. I don't know where the heck it is. I think I might have left it out there. Anyway, so let's see what you guys are saying. Ryan Bork, well, hello again. Well, what's going on, man? Traffic, evening, folks. What's going on, man? So, if you guys didn't see my live stream earlier, I did two giveaways. One was won by Landon, so congrats to Landon. He won the 212 VIP I Love New York. And then earlier, we also did a giveaway that is going to be a 48-hour giveaway. You still have time to enter into it. You just have to go to my community tab, click on the video, and comment what it says to comment. And as long as you've been a subscriber on my channel for at least a month, then you can be entered in to win 2 bottles of Dua. So that's up to you if you want to do that. But what's going on, Vance? How you doing? What's up? Ryan said jump on that Streets of Rage. Yeah, I was playing Streets of Rage. So I went to Ross's live stream, and I was on there for a little bit, and then I decided to go play Streets of Rage again. And I got to level 7. I was close to the last level, and then I had to do my live, so I shut it off. Unfortunately. That game takes forever to play if you're playing it on hard. Bro, Midnight in Paris, I hear, is epic, and M7. So I've actually had a bottle of M7 and M7 Oud Absolu. M7 I had a long time ago, and I actually really like that fragrance, so I can compare it to that. Oud Absolute, I had a bottle of that, but it was closed. It was sealed. It was nowhere you could find it. You couldn't find it anywhere. And so I got that, and then as soon as I got it for like $45. I sold it like for $200 the next day. So I never actually tried it. So we're gonna be trying that today as well. So yeah. Welcome, everyone. Feels like we just had a live or something. Welcome to Moe's. What's up, Kevin? Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. This is my 20th year working at Citrus Convention Bus Terminal in Lakeland, Florida. Oh, Florida. Congratulations, Kevin. That's pretty awesome. It's really good for you, man. I hope that you're having fun down there at the bus station. Awesome milestone, Kevin. Great job making sure my presence is known. Bo, I guess is that your name, Bo? You weren't the only one. So on my giveaway, the only reason I'm doing that, Bo, is because I did a live stream giveaway pretty much every week for the first like 20 weeks of my channel. And there was a lot of people just coming in and not even subscribing, taking advantage of the giveaways, creating multiple accounts, having like a YouTube channel that was just opened like 3 weeks ago, and they were just taking advantage, just taking the giveaways and then not subscribing or anything. So what I decided to do is I'm going to start doing giveaways again, but I'm going to have a stipulation to that. And the stipulation is that you have to have at least commented 10 times on my channel. And if you don't comment, I understand, but I have to at least know your name for at least a month. And I'm very good with remembering people's like names and like noticing them. And there was 4 or 5 of you guys that commented, and I saw that the one person started their channel like a week ago, and they had That was their first comment. And I was like, no. And it wasn't you, Bo. It was somebody else. But I was like, yeah, you definitely can't be part of that giveaway. But with that said, yeah, I apologize. I just have to make sure that it's legit. And not only that, there's half the people that were on the giveaways were reviewers, surprisingly. What's going on, Keith? What's going on, Chris? What's up, Hamzat? How you doing, buddy? Killer Kamikaze. Greetings, dude, and everybody. So, if you guys want to give me a second, so we also have two others. We have Initio Addictive Vibration and Zerjov Starlight. Those are the other ones, but I actually do not see. I'm not sure if he didn't send it to me or what, but I'm pretty sure he did, and I think I left it out there. So give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna go check and see if the that leather one is out there. I'm not 100% sure it is, but Halfeti leather was one of the things I really wanted to try, so I think I might have it out there. Give me 1 second. So, no, it was not. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I think he might have sent it to me. I'm not 100% sure. But I thought it was in the box. Let me just see if I'm just reading these wrong. Yves Saint Laurent Splendid Wood. The Woods Collection. Halfeti Twist. It's a Halfeti Twist. Maybe that's what I read. I think I read Halfeti Twist. Yves Saint Laurent Noble Leather. And Yves Saint Laurent M7 Oud Absolu. Van Cleef and Arpels Midnight in Paris. Well, I guess that we do not have the, what's it called? Halfeti Leather. I thought I had Halfeti leather because I know we were talking about it, but I think I just might have read it wrong. But who cares? Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. We got some good fragrances here anyway, so... What's going on, Sandy? How you doing? You got Black Rose yet, bro? Not sure if I asked you that. Ryan, so my wife is allergic to rose. So when it comes to rose fragrances, I'm not actually going to be picking up any rose fragrances because I'm not. Even though I like to support George with pretty much every fragrance he releases, because I've bought something from almost every release since I've had a channel from Zaharoff. But when it comes to rose, I'm not even a huge fan of rose, but with that said, my wife is allergic to rose oil, and I know for a fact that he uses natural rose oil. So I know that Dedrick said he's going to send me a decant of it at some point in time when he gets his bottle in. Not sure when that will be, but I will try it at some point. I'm just not going to be wearing it. So yeah. Yeah, so anything with natural rose oil, I have to be very weary of it. If it's something, for instance, like that has rose oil, like a designer that has rose oil in it, but it's like a mixed in, because it'll just give my wife, if she like comes in contact with that exact spot, it'll just give her like a small rash. But outside of that, like if it's a natural rose fragrance, I just stay away from it altogether because I know the reaction she can have. So yeah, with that type of fragrance, I'm definitely weary of it. So yeah, Sandy Vance. All right, so too legit to quit. Oh. So we're gonna try out. I guess you guys were saying, even though I didn't think you guys were gonna be too excited about it. We're gonna try Van Cleef and Arpels Van Cleef and Arpels Midnight in Paris, and see what's going on with it. I know zero about this fragrance. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's in it. Not a single clue. That's nice. It's different, but it's nice. I don't even know any of these things. Like, I don't even know what I'm smelling. This is very interesting, but I have no idea what I'm smelling. It's something... There's some kind of floral in it, but I have no idea what I'm smelling. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I've this is one of the first times. I think this happened like 5 or 6 months ago with an Amouage, but I have no idea what I'm smelling in this fragrance. It's blended so much together that I can tell you like accords, but I can't tell you anything else other than that. It does smell darker. It smells like something that you would wear for a night out. It has a slight bit of sweetness, but it almost smells like there's iris in it. But I honestly have no idea. No freaking clue. It has this like ambery, musky backbone. Kind of. I'm trying to think of what else would be in that realm. Amber, musk. But maybe like a little touch of iris. The only thing I can think that would be in that type of realm would be like Prada Luna Rosa Black. But it doesn't necessarily smell. I mean, it does, though. It's very simplistic. I wouldn't be shocked if there's iris in there, but there's definitely some like an ambery, musky backtone. But I have no idea what else is in this fragrance. All I know is it smells kind of, and I mean kind of, not exactly. It's like a higher quality, softer Prada Black. I have no idea. I'm super confused with this one. Let's see. Yes, Black Rose arrived Saturday. I'm impressed, but then again, I love Signature Rosé. Is it called Black Rose or Black Rosé? Now that I think about that. Signature Rosé, I actually like. Close to Prada Black. Let me see what notes are in this. So this is called Midnight in Paris. Midnight in Paris. Van Cleef and Arpels. Okay. Van Cleef and Arpels, Midnight in Paris. Amber, okay, I would have said smoky, but I was kind of nervous to say smoky because it doesn't really feel smoky, but it has this like nuanced smokiness that I thought was maybe coming from the amber. But it does say smoky. That's an accord, so it still could be. We have leather. I don't get leather in this. Bergamot, Amalfi lemon. I don't get any citrus really. Holly, don't know what that smells like. Rosemary, maybe a little bit herbaceous. Tea, no, I hardly get any tea either. These notes are really confusing the fuck out of me. Tonka bean, incense, benzoin. Okay, that makes more sense. Tonka bean, benzoin, and amber. All right, so, and then there's incense and almond. Let's see. Okay, so do you know what it's kind of reminding me of? If you want to take two fragrances and mash them up together, it smells like Prada Black if you mix it together with pieces of L'Homme Ideal Intense. That is what it smells like to me. It doesn't really have much of a citrus kick. The leather in this, if there is any, is really dialed back, but it smells like a higher quality, softer version of Prada Black mixed together with L'Homme Ideal Intense. It's kind of like that almond, semi-nuanced smokiness that you really don't get too forward, but it's mostly an amber, musky fragrance. Yeah, this is actually really freaking good. I would give this, just off the top, I would give this a 9. I think my wife will really like this. Yeah. That's a definite winner. I think I might have to pick that up. Let me see what the price is. All right, Midnight in Paris. In Paris. Van Cleef. Is it discontinued? Oh, that's that one. Okay, I haven't seen the bottle. Now I know what that is. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's discontinued. Shit. That sucks. Okay, so yeah, if you guys look at that, it's not really leathery. It's an amber musky fragrance that has a slightly smoked nuance, and then this kind of like tonka almond mixture that kind of gives that. It's all blended very, very, very well together to the point where I could hardly pick out anything, to the point where I thought it was kind of like an amber iris fragrance. But maybe it's those kind of weird notes that I've never smelled before that's giving off that vibe. I think Ash said the stuff was going for $30 a few years back. Yeah, I remember. Well, the Van Cleef and Arpels, the ones that look like the bottle I was just looking at. They sold them at Sephora at one point in time for like $80. And yeah. Speaking of discontinued fragrances, I just want to give you guys the heads up because you guys know that, not that one, the one behind it, Wanted by Night. I just saw somebody commented it. That one is discontinued, and I did not think it was going to be gone off the shelves, off discounters so quickly, but it is all but disappeared. Um, it's almost impossible to find unless you're looking on eBay. But if I was you and you are looking for a Wanted by Night bottle, either get it on eBay or News Parfums is selling them right now for the large for $60. I would buy that almost immediately because within the next 5 or 6 months, they're going to be completely gone. And then you're going to start seeing those bottles on eBay for $200 to $300. Most likely like 200 range, but it's pretty good. Yeah, it got discounted right around the time I started getting into collecting. You could get bottles for 30 to, it's kind of like the Bulgari Aqua Atlantique. That was going for about $30 to $40, and then as soon as it was discontinued, it was like 130. I still have a bottle of that Aqua Atlantique. I keep forgetting I have it because it's a hockey puck. I completely forgot that I had that fragrance until right now. I need to wear that soon. Definitely want a bottle of Midnight. Well, I'm glad I have a decant, so thank you to D Holmes. But I do want to say this smells. It has a slight amouage. You know how amouage, now that it's getting into the base, it has kind of like that incensey amouage style incense that you know what I'm talking about, almost like a church-like incense. That's coming in now more in the dry down, but still, it does have that kind of like higher quality Prada black mixed together with a little touch of this low medial intense. It's beautiful. That's a 9. Now, I'm coming back to that, but that is a 9 for me. Randy, maybe K Intense will be good. I don't know. So the original Dolce & Gabbana K, I liked. It's average. It's just, it was nothing crazy. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy a bottle. The KEDP, it was like a little bit better than the original. It still didn't do anything like wowing to me, but neither of them are crazy great fragrances. They're just kind of middle of the road, like lower end designer. K Intense looks like it could be the best of the bunch, so they went good, better, and then I can see them doing best. But it's still just like the Terre d'Hermes and just like the Bad Boy Cobalt. Because of previous fragrances in the line, I need to kind of put a halt on it and make sure I try it first. I know I'm a new release designer fragrance channel at heart, and I've already done one and I have a second one on the way, but I'm being more careful about the fragrances I'm picking up this year. And the Terre d'Hermes Herbes Vives is available right now, but I'm not picking it up because I didn't like the other two. Well, I like the EDP. I didn't like the EDT. The EDP was fine. It's just not, I wouldn't wear it. And then the Bad Boy Cobalt Elixir just became available this morning, but I didn't like the original Cobalt. I loved the opening, didn't like the dry down. So overall, I didn't like the fragrance. So I need to be weary on that one too. I am going to pick up Stronger With You Tobacco and Le Beau Paradise Garden as soon as they come out. But at this point in time, those are the only two I have my eyes set on. I do have the Valentino on the way too. Blah, 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 blah. Le Male Les Parfums is getting kind of scarce. Okay, so traffic. I actually have I have news about that. I already contacted Jean Paul Gaultier this weekend with Jeff from SoCal Sense. So somebody, I don't know if it was you, but somebody asked me over the weekend, do you know if Le Male Les Parfums is discontinued? And so I looked it up. It's not on Macy's. It's not on Sephora. It's not on Ulta. It's nowhere to be found. So I asked Jeff. Jeff didn't know. So then we contacted Jean Paul Gaultier. Jean Paul Gaultier said, no, it is not discontinued. It's just because their holiday stock, they had holiday stock that was completely bought out. They are now trying to replenish that stock. It's just going to take a little bit. So right now they need to make more. And I guess they just had a really good Christmas with Le Male Les Parfums, which they probably don't make that much of in the first place because it's not one of their biggest sellers. Totally agree with you about K. Yeah, so I mean, I'm interested in trying it. I'm interested in trying every new release. It's just, last year I bought 43 of the 46 new releases that came out. There's only 3 that I haven't tried yet, and one of them is Issey Miyake's Low Dissy Vetiver. I want to try that. That's the only one that I want to try that I didn't try last year. The other 2 I don't care for. If I do get a decan of Passion, I'd be happy to try that. But I heard good and bad things about that. So yeah. I hope they aren't secretly reformulating. I mean, they could be. You honestly never know, but I honestly don't think that they would do that. It's been so long that it's been out, and there's no banned notes, so I wouldn't expect that. All right, so next one is YSL M7 Oud Absolu. Again, I had a bottle of this, but I sold it the day after I got it because I wanted that $150 in. Well, that smells good. I wanted the $150 upsale. That's really nice. It smells like something though. It does smell. It has the original M7 DNA, but that's underneath it. It's not exactly like that. There's like this. Oh, it's like that Van Cleef and Arpels Orchid Leather. It has vibes of that because there's plum in this, if I can remember. That's what the fruitiness is. There's definitely this like amber oudi, but the oud is kind of more of like a designer oud. Doesn't really come across too animalic. There's a slight touch of animalics, but nothing that's going to be make it like a non-mass appealing fragrance. Yeah, this is very good. I mean, I was blown away by the original M7. This one isn't doing that to me, but this one is making me think like, if I see it again, would I buy a bottle? I think I would. Is it going to be for everyday wear? No, it's fall and winter for sure. It's a little bit deeper and darker. Has a fruity tone to it, but this fruity tone is very high quality, very front and center, and I wasn't expecting that. It's like a fruitiness with a spice, and then you also have this kind of amber and woods underneath it, but it's definitely in the opening dominated by the fruits and spice. But yeah, someone say orchid leather. I was waiting for you to say that, Mo, because when I said that, I was like, yeah, Mo's gonna like that because as soon as I smelled it, um, I don't know. It's coming off plummy to me, but now that it's drying down, it has almost this orangish smell. Like, yeah, I don't know what it must have been like the opening minute that it was fruity to me, but um, there's definitely some like citrusy oranges coming through. The orchid leather thing is kind of going out the window now. It's getting a little bit more woody and spicy. Definitely some oud, but there's another type of wood in here as well. Wouldn't be surprised if it was like sandalwood or cedar. You get a little bit of like a smokiness to it, like a little bit of a resin too. Maybe like benzoin, myrrh. Yeah, this is good, man. YSL M7 Oud Absolute. I heard bad things about this. I remember Mo, do you remember when I got the bottle in that I bought off Fragrance Net and I got it for like 50 bucks? And then I was like, I'm debating on opening it. But then I read a lot of reviews about it and people were saying that it was like not as good as the original, so I decided to sell it and I sold it for like 200 bucks. But I wish I would have opened it and kept it cuz this is good. So, I mean, we're 2 for 2 tonight. This is that plum that I said in the opening, it was reminding me of orchid leather for about a minute. But now that it's dried, no, it's a little bit more of like a mandarin orange. There's like a mandarin orange or some kind of like clementine or something like that mixed together with a nice helping of woods, benzoin, myrrh. There's a little bit of a smoky nuance and then this ambery spiced backtone. Definitely mature, definitely masculine. Not going to be for everybody, but it is definitely of the type of darker woody type scents that you get. This is more of a mass appealing version. YSL definitely did a really good job with this. It's getting more woody as it's drying and a little bit earthy as well. We're going to come back to that because that one's changing drastically. I mean, it's drastically changing as I'm smelling it. What are some good? Let me just. I missed up somebody's stuff. Let me see. Be nice if the next most wanted was actually a re-release of Wanted by Night. So, Chris, we already know what the next most wanted is. It is Most Wanted Eau de Toilette Intense. I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know if it's going to be the same as the other two, but they had such good sales with the original Most Wanted, the Eau de Parfum Intense, and the Parfum. They're going backwards, and they're making an Eau de Toilette Intense. It would be nice if it was kind of like a mixture of the Most Wanted and Wanted by Night DNA. We'll see. We'll have to see. Chris, there's rumblings of Most Wanted EDT. It's a definite thing. The person that I got the information from has not been wrong about any releases to date. So I'm pretty sure that is a true thing. What's up, Scott? 2 live streams today. Missed the earlier one, but came to stop by. Yeah, I did the earlier one because my first member, Jafar, he said anytime you do a live stream, it's usually past my bedtime, which over there where he lives, it's around like 4 in the morning when I do my live streams. So I said, you know what? I'll do my next live stream at 2. And then I realized that a lot of my earlier live streams are actually the most people come to those live streams. I got like 60 people at one point in time this morning. But I figured for my US audience, I wanted to do another one tonight. But yeah, hit the like button. Appreciate you. Thoughts on YSL Y Le Parfum? Are you talking about YSL Y Le Parfum or YSL L'Homme Le Parfum? Or I'm guessing I'm going to go with Y Le Parfum. Y Le Parfum is my favorite from the line. It is my daughter and wife's favorite from the line. They absolutely love it. It is pretty much just take the YSL DNA, darken it up just a smidge, and then put a heavy dose of tonka after about 5 to 10 minutes of the fragrance. That slowly trickles in more and more as you get into the fragrance. Has a nice amber woody backbone. It's a nice date night version of the line while still maintaining its versatility. It still has those nice aromatics and a little bit of that sweetness that you get from the line. And it is overall the best blended version of the line. And I really can't wait to see what they come out with this year, because last year was kind of just like they took their base DNA and made it a little bit more woody. That's what they did last year. And I'm hoping that they kind of amp it up and go with the other side of that factor and try to do like a more unique version of the line, which it's YSLY, so I doubt it. Damn, so it's good. And yeah, I also remember you sold it after reading the reviews. Yeah, I remember it. I don't know if Mo was part of the channel at that point in time. I think it was just you, part of the moderator gang. I think it was just you, Hamzat, at that point in time. Yeah. So, I mean, scratch that plum note. There might be plum. Let me look up the notes. This is going to be one of those ones that has like 3 notes, right? All right, so YSL M7 Oud Absolu. Amber, Oud, Patchouli, because that's the earthiness that's coming in. It's the patchouli. Warm, spicy, woody, balsamic, yeah, a bit balsamic, citrus, sweet. The notes, top note is mandarin orange. Mid note is patchouli. Base notes are oud, myrrh, and French labdanum. So that's what's providing a bit of that smokiness. And the resins, the myrrh and the labdanum. There's no benzoin, but I mean, you replace that with the myrrh and labdanum, and that's pretty much where you're at. And then we got the oud, which again is more of a designer-esque oud with a slight animalic touch, but for the most part, it's almost like a sweet. There has to be a touch of plum in here. I'm telling you. There has to be. There's a slight fruity backbone. It's like a sweet, fruity, yet a little bit of that mandarin orange sticking in there. And then you have this nice amber, a little bit of a warm and spiciness. And in the top, there was a bit of a fresh spiciness too. And then that oud is there. There's a little bit more woods. There's like a sandalwood or a cedar in there as well. It's a little bit dark, spicy, warm, rich, really good scent. I would give that probably like an 8.2, 8.3. I still think that Midnight in Paris is where it's at. Midnight in Paris is kind of like almost like an indie version of, or I guess niche. Van Cleef and Arpels is niche, right? It's a higher quality version of Prada Black that's just a little bit lighter, mixed together with a touch of L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. It's actually quite nice. I would give that an 8.2, 8.3 though. It's not blowing me away, but it's good. For the price that I got it for before, the $50, that would be a steal. I'm just kind of sad that I don't have that now. Anyway, so now we're going to get into the one that he really wanted me to try, which is Yves Saint Laurent Noble Leather. Scent of the day. Let me know what your scent of the days are. So my scent of the day, and I had my scent of the night out. So my scent of the day today was Wulong Cha. But that kind of faded after about 7 or 8 hours. And now I'm wearing Argos Triumph Abacus. Starts out, it's like a fruity peach kind of tonka mixture. A little bit powdery, but it's very fruity in the opening, which I didn't understand. And then after about 5 minutes, it kind of just turns into a less harsh version of red tobacco with the spices from Carlisle. And it's a nice tobacco scent that has a bit of a fruity backbone, and then a nice oriental spiciness, a bunch of saffron just layered on top of that, and a little bit of amber. Very, very good fragrance. So anyway, scent of the day, decant of YSL Baby Cat. Still, I tried that once, and it was something I don't remember. I tried Tuxedo and Baby Cat in a duty-free shop, and I don't remember what either of them smell like. YSL is awesome. They put out good. That's why I think Dolce & Gabbana could have done better with K. Maybe Intense is the one. We shall see. What's up, Sav? YEDP Intense. Nice. That's the one I was just talking about a second ago. Tom Ford. Was Tom Ford involved with the M7 Oud? That's something that somebody else would have to answer because I have no idea. YSL makes quality fragrances. Heard of these M7. I think a couple are hard to find. M7 Oud Absolute. It pops up from time to time. That one's the easier version to find. The original M7 is the one that is the hardest one to find. It's discontinued, and I've tried that before. I actually owned a bottle way back when, and that was really good. But this is called Yves Saint Laurent Noble Leather. I swear to God that I saw Halfeti leather somewhere. I thought that was the reason he was sending me the package was the Halfeti leather. I'm gonna have to ask him after this. I hope he kind of joins the live so I can ask him because I thought I saw Noble Leather in there. I don't know if I'm just losing my mind or something's going on. I swear I saw it. I might have just read that Halfeti part. Okay, if you want to talk about animalics, this is animalic. There's definitely a dry animalic nature to it. This is not going to be for the faint of heart. Definitely not for me. So, Noble Leather. Wait. It might be for me. I don't know. Let me spray this one on hand. And, I mean, that's kind of weird because I just said it was not for me, but it's the one I'm spraying on my hand. It just doesn't smell right on the tester. Noble Leather on my hand. Look at that sheen, man. That was a lot. It came out like not a spray, but more of like a squirt. Definitely better on skin. It's called Noble Leather, and there's definitely like a leathery suede here, but I almost get this kind of like dry animalic woodiness. There's definitely a little bit of fruitiness to it, but it's weird because it's called Noble Leather, but I'm getting a nice helping of wood here. The leather's definitely there though. It's a nice. It's definitely nice for like the niche crowd. I'm definitely glad I tried it. But if this, okay, so there's amber coming in now too. I don't know. It smells like something that would come from the House of Zoologist. It's a bit animalic, dry, almost hay-like. And then you have the leather under there, but it's almost crowded by this. Like, there's ambers coming in, there's the leather that's there, and then there's this like dry animalic woodiness and some spice. I'm not sure. I need to come back to that because I'm not sure. It's a little bit, I don't know. It's polarizing to me at this point in time. And I've been liking my leather scents more and more. It's just this one might not be for everybody. Um, Good evening, Rainy and everyone. What's up, Sun Devil? How you doing, buddy? Royal Tobacco is on my most wanted list. Royal Tobacco. Amouage Royal Tobacco. My most wanted list right now. Sospiro Vibrato. That is like top. I know Newt said that he was gonna send me at some point in time a decant of Halcyon, and if it is in any way, shape, or form close to Angel Share, that will be on the top of my list as well. And if that makes the top of my list, then you best be damn sure that the new Halcyon Oud would be on the top of my list to blind buy. And then Initio Side Effect is like the top of my list right now because I had a decant of that forever. And I finally found it because I forgot I had it because I was going through so many fragrances. And then my wife said it's like one of her favorite fragrances that she smelled. And so I need to buy a bottle of that. So that one's on the top of my list right now. What's up, Josh? How you doing, bud? Newt, I'm obsessed with Baby Cat. You said Baby Cat is still available in the UK, although difficult to find as it sells out rather quickly. Right now, Baby Cat is on Venba for $307, I believe. Okay, so this is getting better. It's just the opening that has this like dry animalic woodiness. It's getting more of a like this like kind of fruity leather. It kind of smells a bit. I mean, and what does that smell like? Almost a little, and I mean a little baby bit, like a less fruity version of Tuscan leather. But it still has this like dry quality that I'm not sure I like. Newt, is there Halcyon Oud is pricey? Yeah, I'd be getting a decant of that. I'm not going to blind buy that. So I would guess I would say the top bottles on my list would be Sospiro Vibrato and Initio Side Effect. Those are the two on my list. And I have a 10 milliliter decant of the Narcotic Delight on the way. And I can tell you, if that's supposed to be Side Effect with cherry, then you can count me in as wanting to buy that too. You're bathing Baby Cat tonight. I've never tried Baby Cat outside of that one time in a duty-free store, so I should get a decant of that at some point in time. Or, oh, and also Roja Isola Blue. That's also on my list to buy. And Virgin Island water, because I had Virgin Island water bought, and it was on Joma Shop for like 192 or 182 for the tester, and then they canceled it like almost a month after I bought it. I need to try it, and I might just use like my Venba affiliate money and get that. I don't know. I might. But I don't like want to get Baby Cat and then not like it. I need to see, so let's see what the notes are for this. Noble Leather by YSL. Let me type it in. Noble Leather YSL. All right, so Noble Leather by YSL. Leather, fruity, vanilla, animalic, woody, patchouli, sweet, amber, powdery. I'm not getting much powder. I'm getting a lot of dryness, though. So it says that the notes, they're very vague. Leather, dried fruits, vanilla, patchouli, and amber. So the opening is a lot of an animalic dry woodiness, but as it dries, that leather and fruitiness is coming through. I don't really quite get the vanilla in there. Patchouli is going to be in most fragrances. This one, it's not like showing its face any more than a normal fragrance. And then you have the amber in there. The amber is in there, but it's more dialed into the background. And they are comparing it to Tuscan leather. But it has like 50-50. So I don't know. I would say of the three, that's my least favorite so far. YSL leather. Noble leather, I'd probably give that like a 7.5 at max. It's nothing that I would ever buy personally, even if it was available. But it's still 7.5 is not bad. Oh, well, had no idea it was so limited. Halcyon Oud, brand new, only selling 90 to 100 bottles. I bet it's got what? They're selling only 90 to 100 bottles. Are you sure? Because people keep asking me. It's on pre-order right now. Let me check. Halcyon Oud. Yeah, I don't even know where to find it. And I'm not doing that to you guys right now. Pre-sale. Limited edition Halcyon Oud. Okay. Limited to 100 numbered boxes. The limited edition Halcyon Oud is now available for pre-order shipping. Why would they only make 100 though? What's the price of it, Newt? Can you tell me what the price of it is? Because somebody was asking me if I was going to buy it, and that seems like it's going to be like 500 bucks. I would not buy a $500 bottle that I've never tried. If you like Shaky Gold or Ref Kit, you'll like ULL, Love Baby Cat. That was literally gibberish, Mo. And yes, Sandy, I do. I know I need to. Do you agree Baby Cat need... Oh, that's for Mo. Okay, so we're going to move on to one that I actually wanted to try a lot. Sorry if that makes a lot of noise, but it is called Xerjoff Starlight. I heard a lot of good things about this before, so I wanted to try it. Oh, ha ha! Check it out. Halfeti Leather. Halfeti Leather was inside the Xerjoff Starlight box, along with Xerjoff Starlight, because there was two sides to it. So I guess we're gonna get to Halfeti Leather. Yay! $2.92 for a bottle, and it's 100 bottles. You know what the upsell on that is? I mean, if it becomes like this huge thing, the upsell on that will be like $400 to $500 in a month, like right off the bat, because 100 bottles are gonna go like that. I bet you they're already sold. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already sold. But anyway, okay, so Halfeti Leather. I might just go buy that right after the stream just so I'm one of the 100 people to have a bottle of that. All right, so did I just spray the Halfeti Leather? I was talking to you guys and I wasn't paying attention. Okay. This is good. Halfeti Cedar is one of my favorite fragrances that I tried this year technically. No, it was last year. And I feel really bad. I want to give a nice shout out to Newt. Newt sent me Halfeti Cedar, but at the same time, I was sent 30 decants from somebody else. I was sent 20 decants from somebody else, and they were all like 10 milliliter decants, and Newt were like in these smaller ones. And so I kind of lost track of it. And the Halfeti Cedar that he sent me, I sprayed it on a tester, and I found out that Halfeti Cedar smells like shit on a tester in the opening. And so I gave it bad remarks on my live stream, but I sprayed it on my skin the other day, and man, that stuff is great. Halfeti Cedar is amazing. So shout out to Newt. Sorry, I guess sometimes spraying things on a tester just doesn't work out, as I smell it on a fucking tester. But I can tell you this one smells great on the tester. And speaking of plum, there's plum in this. I know there's plum in this. It's the first thing that fucking hits me in the face. Plum and leather. So we're going to take this right back to orchid leather, because this kind of has the orchid leather style vibe. It's not exact. It's not even close. But if you want to get close to orchid leather, Halfeti Leather is great. There's a little bit of a warm spiciness and definitely some lavender floating through here. It's definitely more eclectic and more going on than what Orchid Leather was, because Orchid Leather was legit like plum and leather and woods. There was hardly much else going on with it, and the leather wasn't as prominent. This is really good. The fruitiness to it is a bit strong, but this is worth a spray on skin. I'm spraying this on skin immediately. Yeah, that's good. Yo. This kind of smells like a mix between Van Cleef& Arpels Orchid Leather if you mix it together with Scent of Wood, Plum, and Cognac. There's not the booziness to it. It has this like cardamom lavender mixture underneath this leather plum top. Oh, this is nice. I really like that. Oh, this is the best one so far. I need to rate this. That one's still Midnight in Paris is still really freaking good though. It's just the unique quality to this one. It just outshines that one. Which Halfeti do I prefer? You want me to go get Halfeti Cedar and just try them right now and see which one? Let's do that. All right. Damn it. I just knocked over like 600 decants. But anyway, we got the Halfeti Cedar. I have so many decants, it's so hard to figure out where shit is. But thank God I just found this the other day. So there we go. Halfeti Cedar. That's so damn good too. They are so different. This one kind of smells closer to the original Halfeti. If you've tried the original Halfeti, this one has more of that straight DNA underneath it, with again this kind of plum, warm and spicy, a little bit of a green edge, and then leather. But the leather still isn't super prominent in it, but it's really nice. And then there's a nice woodiness underneath it as well. Halfeti Cedar, though, I don't know. Halfeti Cedar, they're both so good. I'd still, shit. I'd still say Halfeti Cedar is a touch better. Halfeti Cedar is just unique to no extent. I know. I wish I could just show you guys, but I can't zoom over there because a lot of my wife's stuff is over there. I wish I could show you how much I knocked on the floor. There's at least, I would say, 150 decants on the floor right now. Halfeti Leather is the more wearable of the two, in my opinion, as far as mass appeal, because of that fruity plum in there. Obviously, the masses are going to go more towards nice fruitiness instead of going towards a nice woodiness, because woodiness has never been a huge mass appeal towards the masses. That's why you don't really find designers that have heavy woody scents. But I still think that Halfeti Cedar edges it just a bit. They're both in the nines for me. They're both really, really good. Yeah, that's great. Halfeti Cedar, I would give that a 9.1, and I'm going to give Halfeti Leather a 9.0. That's just, I mean, I haven't got to the dry down of it, but just right now here in the opening, you get a little bit of lavender underneath, providing a slight aromatic backbone. There's a noticeable cardamom. Cardamom's in there. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting the plum. Plum in there. There's definitely plum in this one. Not sure about M7 Oud Absolute, but there's plum in this one. And the plum is very noticeable. It's the most noticeable note in the first 15 to 20 minutes. It's starting to dissipate now. And surprisingly, just like Orchid Leather, the leather isn't as tough or in your face as you would expect. It's more of a softer leather. But it's altogether really nice. And Halfeti Cedar is also a bit better at performing as far as the projection in the opening. This one is slightly lighter, but I wouldn't say it's a light scent whatsoever. Just kind of giving you guys a picking and choosing. But anyway, we're going to give you the note breakdown for Halfeti Leather now that I was just pulling it up. So this is what the bottle looks like. Get it pulled up. Take a picture. There we go. A nice, cool little bottle. And it's warm, spicy, leather, smoky. It don't get much smoke. Fresh, spicy, woody, oud, animalic, fruity. I don't really get much animalic tones from it. Yeah, I mean, maybe slightly in the background, but it's nothing that would be off-putting. But we have top notes of plum, cardamom, lavender, citruses, bergamot, and green notes. The green notes I just thought were coming from the cardamom, but I mean, I guess they also have green notes in there as well. Nutmeg, rose, cinnamon, cumin. I didn't get that much spice to see that there's nutmeg, cinnamon, and cumin. I didn't get that much. It does make sense that there's violet and jasmine in this though. There is a slight floral backtone, and then leather, oud, and incense show as the base notes. So it seems like this one is gonna start out, like I said, more fruity, more on that warm and spicy, fruity opening. And then it's going to dry down a slight bit animalic with that leather and that oud showing its face further in. And then I guess that smoke's going to come in a little bit. Yeah, because the fruitiness is almost all but dissipated already. But I never got any citruses. That was really, it must have been just an underplayed tone. But if you really want to know the opening, it smells a lot like orchid leather mixed together with plum and cognac minus the booze. And then as it's drying, it's kind of just like this, again, woody mixed together with a little bit of leather, like a soft leather. And then you get some spices. I didn't get like nutmeg, cinnamon, cumin. I did get the cumin, but cinnamon and nutmeg, I'm shocked they're in there. But Halfeti Cedar is definitely the more noticeably better version of the line, but this one is no slouch. As it's drying, I would move it down to probably like an 8-9. The dry down is not as good as the opening, but it's still very nice. Anyway, thanks, Randy. You're welcome, Sandy. Randy, Sandy, Dandy. Newt, Joma has both leather and cedar. Sorry about your decants. I don't care. I have to clean them up anyway. I was talking to D Holmes the other day. I was like, bro, you sent me like 200 decants in the last, I don't know, 2 months. And I finally figured out where to store my other 900. And then you go and send me another 200. I was like, I don't know where I'm going to put all this crap. And so yesterday I was looking on Etsy to try to find a place that you can actually store that many decants. And then I was like, you know what? I know what I'm doing. During the next like month or two, I'm going to go buy a bunch of 2x4s from, what's it called? Home Depot or Lowe's. And I've always been a DIY person. And then I'm going to stain them. And then I'm going to drill little holes in there with like a 3/4, like so you could fit a normal decant. So maybe like a 5/16 or something like that, and drill like 300 holes through them so that I can just stick the decants into them. And then I'll stain them and then hang them up on the wall right here so that I can just come over and I can actually read each one. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a nice one. Nice little decant holder. I'm going to show it to you guys once I make it, but it's going to be awesome. Halcyon Oud, $52 ship. Wow. So $292 with $52 shipping. Yeah, that's not worth it. Randy, what's good, my man? What's up, Zach? Got my bottle of Black Rose in today after work and giving it a test on one hand now. It's got some nuances to it for sure. See, I've never been a big fan of rose. If there was a rose fragrance, I've always said there's 2 rose fragrances. If I had to choose 2 that actually make me semi-enjoy the note of rose, and that is Signature Rosé by Zaharoff and L'Homme à la Rose by MFK. Those 2 fragrances I've enjoyed the rose from. but I can't wear them. So I didn't pick up black rose because my wife is allergic, and I've never been a big fan of rose, but I'm always willing to try it. So hopefully Dedrick remembers that he told me he was going to send me a decant, but I'm not going to bug him about it. I'm not that kind. If I don't review it, I don't review it. We'll see. Guess that's why Geo Absolute Instinct not stay around because of the woods, but I love it. Not necessarily. It's because when people go buy Aqua de Joe has so many freaking nuanced differences in their fragrances that people go and they're just like, I'm gonna buy whatever. That's like a mainstream fragrance that most people who are just like normal average Joes are buying. And when they're going there, they're not going, oh, I want to try the new Absolute Instinct. They're just going there and saying, I'm buying what was on that commercial. So it's just not the best seller. That's why Absolute is gone too, because Absolute wasn't full woody. Yes, it was amber woody, but at the same time, it was more of like this slightly almost like Rasasi Hawass, just with more of an amber woody tone to it. And so it's not necessarily about that. It's just Aqua de Joe isn't going to be able to sell something new if they're still pitching like their best seller in the line. That's all they're talking about. Like whenever they bring out Aqua de Joe Parfum, that's all they talk about that entire year. So they're not going to sell anything else. That's pretty much what they're going to sell. That sounds legit, dude. Yeah, I'm going to make that and it's going to be awesome. I already thought about it, and I have about 3 feet here and I have about 10 feet up. So I can't go all the way to the ceiling because I want to be able to reach it. I could reach to about 8 feet. So I'll probably put it around 7 feet. So if you think 2x4s are about this big, I'm going to have them like a 2x4 this way and one that way. And then right below it, a 2x4 this way, that way. So I'll probably be able to do, I would say, 10 to 12 2x4s. And then I'll cut 1 foot off the 2x4 so it can fit here. I'd probably put about 100 holes into each 2x4. So I'd probably be able to fit, I would say, 1,000 decants into it. That would be my ideal decant holder, is about 1,000 decants. Because I have about 1,200. So 1,000 decants would be what I would need. And I don't know what I have, because I have so many decants, I don't know what I have. And I know that's kind of stupid, but I knew you'd have to build into your current setup, which is a good thing. Yeah, see, the thing is that when it comes to my bottles, I'm not changing that. I already told you guys, I'm staying around 300 bottles. Right now, I have 319, so I'm almost close to where I need to sell about 30 away. And that's how I do it. As soon as I get to a certain point, I will sell about 30 away so that I can stay around 300. So my collection is not changing. If it gets to the point where I have so many, maybe I'll put another like one of these and move it to the right and then put another one next to it. But that's only like a must. If I have to, I'd rather just take all my clones and put them in my drawer. I missed out on Dunsir. Not sure what that is. What's Dunsir? Dunsir. Adonis Awakens and Signature Rosé convinced me to like Rose. See, Adonis Awakens I don't like. I have it over there. Somebody sent me a decant of it. And I apologize to that person if they are here right now because I don't remember who sent it to me. But I appreciate for whoever did send it to me. I think it was Brian. But they sent it to me, and Adonis Awakens is not for me. I don't know. It's just too feminine. I got my bottle of... Oh, I already read that. All right, so now we're moving into that Xerjoff. Xerjoff Starlight. Sorry, I was probably getting boring there for a second, right? Another Xerjoff that I have no idea... Another fragrance that I have no idea what it's all about. Speaking of feminine, this is a bit feminine, but unisex. It's like almost straight in the middle of unisex, but it's nice. It has a little bit almost of like, it has a fruity top, but there's almost this slight like cooling feeling underneath it. I don't know what that is. It doesn't smell minty. It's very interesting. What is that? Do you get that too, Sandy? I know you said you just got Zerjoff Starlight, but in the opening, do you get almost this like cooling, almost mentholated feeling to the fragrance? It's actually really nice. Definitely more fruity and a little bit more unisex leaning feminine to me in here in the opening. But man, do I like that. What kind of fruits are it? Fuck if I know. No idea. It's a nice mixture, and then there's a little bit of an ambery undertone, but it's nice. Sweet, fruity, a little bit clean, a little bit of spice in there as well, but I don't know what that is. No idea. These are really, I don't know if I'm going anosmic tonight or something. I honestly don't know because I never really have these issues. Cardamom and bergamot. I'm definitely going anosmic. What? I need to look this up. Hold on. Yeah. Zerjoff Starlight. That has me lost. Warm, spicy, cinnamon, almond, aromatic, amber, citrus. It's the almond. Fuck. I thought it was fruits. No, it's the almond. No, I mean, now that I see it, I smell it, but it's like I should have known that right off the bat, but I don't really get bergamot. I've smelled so many bergamots, I don't know. Maybe it's the almond that's just masking it. It's coming off fruity to me. I'm fucking going anosmic. I don't know what it is, though. Yeah, that's good, though. That's really nice. Oh, okay. The cinnamon, almond, and cloves. Yes, it's a bit sparkly. That's where I'm getting that. It's almost like a coal. I get like a cooling feeling. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Again, I think it might just be the mix of all these weird ass fragrances that I'm smelling. Yeah, I'm still smelling it, and it still smells like this cooling, sparkly fruitiness. I don't know why. I know what it is now, and even then, I can still smell it and say it still smells fruity. That's whatever. But at the same token, if you think about it, and if I'm smelling this, I could also say it also kind of smells like a citrus sparkling beverage. But if I smelled this 500 times, 499 times, I would not say that. It's very interesting. It's a strange mix, but it works. Yeah, it's not something that you smell every day. I mean, this is going to be something that's more unique. It's mass appealing, though. I mean, it's Zerjoff. Zerjoff usually does make more designer esque, mass appealing, high end quality scents. But this is kind of in line with something like Ingenious Ginger, not the smell, but the type of fragrance that it is. Where Ingenious Ginger, it's almost like you have a lemon cake and you're pouring ginger ale on top of it. This one, it's almost like if you have like a creamy almond mixture and you poured, and again, I still find it like a sparkling fruity beverage. Do you remember those like sparkling wild berry fruity crystal whatever drinks from back in the day? To me, it's almost like if you took that and you poured it on top of like a creamy almond mixture. But now that I read the notes, it makes complete sense. It's almost like if you had like cinnamon and a creamy almond mixed together and you poured this like sparkling, um, like bergamot on top of it, like sparkling bergamot tea or some shit. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. Hey, Jeff, what's going on? Yeah, it almost reminds me of like now that you're saying it, it's like a fresh and creamy Sprite version of Ingenious Ginger. It's fucking weird, man. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's like an 8.5. I think I might actually buy a bottle of this. But it's super hard to explain from a reviewer's perspective. I don't know if it's just because I've tried so many things and they're all just blending all together and it's giving me like an earache right now. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm getting a fucking earache in my left ear. But yeah, or it could be the fact that I just suck at what I do. The name suits the fragrance well. Starlight, yeah, that does. It's almost like crystal light, but it's starlight. Hey, so Jeff, I was just mentioning the Sospiro Vibrato and how you sent that to me and you made my purchase of Ingenious Ginger very sad. Even though it's Ingenious Ginger, it has that warmth, which is better for this time of year. Sospiro Vibrato is just better all the way around. It is better at everything except for warmth. That is the only thing it's not good at. What's up, Thomas? How you doing? So today we just went through Halfeti Cedar, Halfeti Leather. We still have this one left. I just want to make sure what we have left. And then we have Yves Saint Laurent Splendid Wood, which I haven't went over. Van Cleef and Orpel's Midnight in Paris. That just smells like Prada Black mixed together with L'Homme Ideal Intense. And then we have Starlight by Xerjoff, which is a weird blend that smells great. YSL M7 Oud Absolu. It's really nice. I give it like an 8.2, 8.3. And the Noble Leather wasn't really for me. So, yeah. We're going to now smell YSL Splendid Wood. Okay, that one has shit on it. Vibrato made me sad as well, for the same reason. Yeah. It just figures that they both come out around the same time. Well, this is splendid. I don't know. Splendid Wood. Are all of these in the same line? I posted the bottles on my thumbnail, but I don't know if these were in the same line. Because the bottles look the same, but like I know their private lines have different bottles, but do the different bottles mean they're in the same line? Because all of them smell, because the leather one that I smelled, the M7 Oud Absolu, they all have this kind of woody, slight incense vibe to them. This one is the best of the three. It's very simplistic, though. It is a darker, woody scent. Okay, maybe it's not. I don't know. I need to wait. I'm going anosmic, guys. These are really dark scents that are really playing with my nose today. It's very woody, but it has a nice smoky nuance to it. And that's really it. At this point in time, there's really not much else going on to it. There's like a warmth to it, but I mean, it is called Splendid Wood. So it's one time I smell it and I really like it, and one time I smell it and I'm just like, I don't know. A little bit of an animalic tone to it, too. So I think this line is more like a woody animalic style line. That's why I'm asking, do you guys know if these are all in the same line? Because I have a feeling they are. Later, Vance. Vibrato is Jen approved. #1 frag in my collection. When you said Jen, I thought my Jen. I'm like, I forgot Newt's wife, his name is Jen too. Alright, so Splendid Wood. Woody, warm, spicy, oud, ambery, smoky, aromatic. It's the exact same as Oud Absolute. Incense, cardamom, oriental woods, jasmine, sambac, oud, cypriol oil, and cedar. It has a little bit of a green edge and a slight floral undertone, but for the most part, this is straight woods and a little bit of like a spicy green edge from that cypriol oil. And I would not have guessed it was cypriol oil, but it's very simplistic with a slight, again, green, spicy edge and a slight incensey tone. Is it something that my wife would like? Hell no. She would not like this. And to be honest with you, she won't like anything I just mentioned except for Xerjoff Starlight and that Prada Black one. But the other ones, all the YSL, the whole YSL thing that I just mentioned, they are for personal enjoyment only. So I don't know. I said this the other day. I don't know when the fragrance community started getting so clone and situational, but I've been seeing so many people reviewing fragrances that I know for a fact that if you go out in public, 9 out of 10 people will tell you you don't smell great. That they would rather you wear like 1 Million Lucky or Prada Black. I know that for a fact. And they're talking about these fragrances. Like, could I go out wearing Halfeti Cedar? Yes, I could. But for myself. I'd be wearing it for myself. Halfeti Cedar is not something that the everyday masses are going to be like, holy crap, you smell amazing. Unless you like are a lumberjack. And so I want to be completely honest with you guys. All four of the YSLs that I just smelled, they smell great for the fragrance community. If you want something that's personal enjoyment, something to wear out for yourself, then those are going to be it. I mean, most of them revolve around woods, leather, some kind of green, spicy tone in the background, and then a little bit of incense. Legit, all three of them have that. It's just M7 Oud Absolu has this kind of amber, slight fruity, citrusy tone. The leather one the Halfeti leather has a nice plum note in it, but you're not going to wear most of these in public. I mean, and if you do, again, you're wearing it for yourself. So if you're looking for something that is mass appealing, the only one from this that is going to be super mass appealing is probably Xerjoff Starlight. Even though it's a weird ass freaking blend, it smells great. And it's definitely something that women and men would like. Oh, and Jeff, if you're still here, I was reviewing a couple of the Intelligence earlier, because this is my second live stream today. I was reviewing a few of the Intelligence earlier, just like as a random one-off, and legit, I think every single one of the Intelligence that I've tried so far smell like something else. They are closer clones than clones, in my opinion. And somebody else who came into the live stream, they said they tried a few of the Intelligence, but he asked me, do you think that they smell like other fragrances? And I said, you know what? Yeah, they do. Like the one smells like Prada L'Homme, the one smells like Crema Spice and Black Vanilla. But anyway, yeah. No more people talking, so I guess that means I'm going to shut it down here in a minute. I hope that you guys enjoyed the live stream, the second one of the day. Again, if you're interested in doing any of the giveaways, the one's already done, but they do smell like hybrids. The Crema Spice and Black Vanilla smells like Crema Spice and Black Vanilla. That's like almost exactly Crema Spice and Black Vanilla. Was it Argan? But that's pretty much what a lot of clones are nowadays, too. A lot of the clones that I've tried are hybrids. Like, my favorite clone from this year was that Lattafa Bade Al Oud Sublime, which is a hybrid clone of Kayali's Apple. And it doesn't smell exactly like it. It kind of smells like apple mixed with Kool-Aid. But, yeah, it's kind of in the same realm as a lot of the clones I've tried. While they do smell good, it's just, I think even though they're priced at around $70 or so, in my opinion, personally, I wouldn't buy any of them. At least I've tried 5 of the 7. Clones with a twist. Yeah, you've seen a lot of those. Like, for instance, Kayed Al-Fursan is supposed to have that Aventus-style DNA, Nishane Hachivat-style DNA. And then it takes that, and then it adds this kind of grilled pineapple on top. Or Lattafa Camera is supposed to be like Angel Share, except for it's like darker, warmer, removes a lot of the booze. So they do like their own thing. So yeah, like Silver reminds me of Prada L'Homme, with a touch of L'Homme Sport. Yeah, but that's done now by like Lattafa, Maison Alhambra. They do like. The twists are like the thing now for clones. A lot of clones are twists. That's almost like the new 2023 thing that happened, is that instead of just doing straight clones, clone companies are now doing like, here, we're going to clone this, but we're going to throw our own little twist on top of it. That's kind of like what they've been doing. Or you could go with Making Sense. Making Sense kind of just throws two fragrances together and says, here you go. Like this one. Fallen Leaf. This is Most Wanted. Wanted by Night mixed with 1 Million Privé. Or you have this one, which has little pieces of, it's supposed to look like a cola. It's called Cherry Cola. Both by Making Sense. Yeah, Camera is the prime example of that twist. You would not smell Camera and think it was a clone of anything. If you just smelled it and you were blind smelling it and you didn't know what Angel Share smelled like, or let's just say you did know what Angel Share smelled like. If you smelled Camera, you would not think it was a clone of Angel Share. You wouldn't think it was a clone of anything. It's just kind of like it takes some parts of that DNA and then just throws it together with other things. While there are still the clones that do straight clones and they still suck, there's some that do a twist, and that's the ones that I like. Those are the only clones that I'll actually fuck with, are the clones that are trying to do their own thing while still maintaining this DNA that I've always loved. So that's the only clones I'll ever mess with usually. And then they had the Karma Coffee, which just kind of smoothened out the DNA, yeah. And then they added a little bit of coffee onto it, which smells pretty nice, to be fair. But Cherry Cola, I want to smell that again. It smells like a vanilla Coke. That's right. I was going to spray it on, but now I remember. Cherry Cola just smells like a vanilla Coke. And it has a slight bit of cherry. And I found out that this, we thought it might have been mold, but he did that on purpose. It's this, I forget the name of it, begins with an M, but he put it in there to make it look like Coke syrup. The coffee works. The coffee definitely works. Anyway, what was I getting to? I was getting to saying bye. So my wife just got done feeding my dog, so I'm going to go back out, get ready to take a shower, and then head to bed, because I got to get up early for work tomorrow. But M?muck. LOL. What's that mean? Mud? What? Am I missing something? Sandy and Newt, what are y'all talking about? You guys are behind. I can already tell. You're like 5 or 10 seconds behind. So I'm going to wait and see what you guys are talking about before I actually leave. What is M, muck, and mud? Muck, mud. Oh, no, it wasn't that. It sounds like scientific. It's like Menji or Men something or M. I can't remember. But it's something, and I looked it up. It's something that has to do with something, and it's actually legit. I can't remember the name. If I remember it next time, I'll remember to tell both you and Sandy. You guys are just messing with me. Okay, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm going home. Peace.